and delete it. And there's that back edge. So if you would do those.
So when you move your first point, depending on that angle, you're going to be able to see more or less.
Yeah, once you get a point on a plane, you can just follow this plane around. Generally, you don't need any more station point work. Kind of look eye-pleasing?
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah, it's got some distortion in it, but not much. Now, let's make sure we check. Now, just to show you that this works, because I knew this was the width axis, so therefore it's got to be parallel to that. It's not a vanishing plane. I had the height axis, so I knew those two had to be parallel or straight up and down. So I never bothered locating them. I just found a point on the plane and then just followed it around. Now, if you're ever worried that you got a wrong point, you can always check it. Okay? Because to check it, I would then come from my station point. And I'm going to come in and clean that up real quick. And I'm going to just show you. I'm going to go from the station point to this back edge. And then I'm going to go from the picture plane back down. Folks, I better be hitting on that point. If you hit right on it, you did it right. If you miss it or that thing comes down out here or over in here, then you had a bad polar setting or a bad snap, something like that. You have made a mistake. It's time to stop, back up until you find that mistake.
From the vanishing point or this?
Nope, go from the station point to the point you're looking for, in this case the top back right. Where you cross the picture plane, bring that point straight down. You should hit on that same point we just defined by going horizontal.
Oh.
Kind of cool?
Yeah.
Okay. There's your first one-point perspective. Let's do a 2-point. Now, let's not reset everything back up. If you would, copy your station point, ground line, horizon line, picture plane, copy them off to the side. So we don't have to reset all that up. And I'm just going to leave this guy alone. So I'm going to bring horizon line, ground line, station point. And I'll just set mine right on top. Okay, so this is all you really want to copy for these 4 items.
We can put our station point anywhere.
Yep, can be anywhere.
Any of those boxes?
Just the station point, right?
Actually, you know what else we need?
The
I should have
vertical.
mentioned this too. We need both these objects too. Bring your right side view and your top view also. What we're going to do is we're going to do a 2-point perspective of the same object. So excuse me, sorry about that. Must have been chewing gum or something. Can't walk and chew gum and talk at the same time. We're following now the 2-point perspective. I think that's page 642 or something like that, if you wish to see what we're doing in the text. Yes, Kate?
So on that last like one perspective thing we did, that was like a whole, like, I don't know what the exact term for it was. you're talking about the Cavalier or Legal, so it's not, do they all, is it always going to be like full, or will we shorten the back?
Okay, this is not an oblique, so don't confuse it with an oblique.
Okay, so I didn't know if you would just like use any of the same ones or anything, like if we're not doing like that, where it's like one.
Yeah, it might be a good point to bring up while we're waiting for people to make this copy. If I was doing an oblique drawing here, I would have done it the same way, front sides, true size and shape. But instead of this axis converging to that point, I would have just ran them parallel on the same angle, 45 degrees, say. And then you just close off the back. You would have to measure along the depth and then just chop it off and draw them in. Okay. So what it would look like, what is that? Is that guy 4 wide? I can't remember.
I don't know.
What is the depth on that? Distance? I've got 4.
This is the right.
So what it would look like, let me draw at, yeah, it looks like this line's about 45. So let me do this, so lock it in. Now let's go. Line at 4, angle to 45. So it would go there, and then let me copy this. Let me change these lines. There's an oblique. Right there. Because the lines are parallel as they come off the back. So same process, except these converge and it removes that distortion. See how, doesn't that look in your eye like it's going like that? It's got a lot of distortion. The perspective removes that distortion. All right, we ready to proceed? With that 2 point? All right.
The oblique was parallel.
Yes.
Okay.
Receding axis was parallel. Okay, now, if you do a 2 point, we've got one additional step here. What do we do with our top view on a 2 point?
Twist it.
Rotate it, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna rotate it up such that there is, I gotta look at the figure, is it 60 degrees here, 30 here?
Yes.
I can't- Is that what it is? Okay, so let's rotate that object to that angle. So I'm gonna do a rotate on this character. I'll leave this corner the same and rotate it minus 60. So I'm putting it like that. If you got that done already, do your 30-degree cone of vision, if you remember how to do that.
Oh, you rotated it?
Yep. So I rotated it such that I've got now 30 degrees here, 60 degrees right here.
So the cone of vision, which ones do you want us to try to see?
Okay, let's look at this front and the left side a little bit. Okay, so to do my cone of vision, if you can't remember, you can watch me real quick. I'm going to do it from my station point to these 2 extended edges. And in this case, I want to look there and there. Then I'm going to use the stretch command. And I got to get just a little bit closer, and then I'll put an angle in there. But I want to see both those sides. So I'm going to be somewhere over in here. Right here. And then I need to use dim angle to dimension that, and then use stretch again to get me to approximately 30 degrees. Wow, nailed it right off the bat.
Are we supposed to go to the outer edge?
Yes. Remember, this really is the extent of what your eyeball is going to see. Okay.
line crosses,
I got
crosses
29.
the object, is that okay?
You aren't gonna see anything once you get past that first edge.
Well,
Yeah, so you need, okay, so all you're going to see is up to that corner. You're only gonna see that at the top. That's it. That's why I slid mine to the left, station point, so I could see a little
so
of that
that's
side.
why I should slide.
Yeah.
How do you get your points to go smaller again?
RE, enter, if you set your point to a percentage of the screen. Because there's two options in that format point. One's an absolute size where it doesn't change.
Yeah.
One's a percentage of the screen size. $29.999 is good enough.
I like to say that.
Are we all there? Raise your hand if you need a little more time. Okay, I'll wait.
How do I move my station point?
Stretch. S enter. Draw a crossing window around it.
Like that, yeah. So because I don't want to get my ground, garage line. So I do stretch.
That point should be completely inside your stretch. Okay, stretch, S enter. Put there, drag it over, click. Now, hold the shift key down and deselect that line. Now, you're done selecting, enter. Put the base points, doesn't matter where. There you go. Use the stretch command. Right, you are, yeah, you are. Okay, keep going. Oh, you're not stretching correctly, so hit escape. Stretch again. Center. Draw it. Put the point there. And draw your crossing window. And do down here, you want that point all the way inside. Okay, click. Now, hold the shift key down and deselect that one. No, you're good. Now just, you're done selecting, so you're done. Put the base point. And there you go. This place appointment is made. Okay, now just going to use the name of the active inside. Yeah, because you're only going to see from there to there. And you got, also it's got a bad snap on that corner. You weren't on that corner. So what you want to do is you're going to use it.
So I bought it used for 170. They bought it brand new for I don't know how much. Yeah, but Andy found it online for $199. But it takes 2 weeks to get here. I don't know who else bought the book, but
Where's our?
¿sí la agarro, güey, o no?
Oh, yeah, it goes with the, just copy that.
Yes.
Right here.
And I'll do a stretch again. And I want to know when I do a stretch, I want to go through those lines until we get that inside. I'm going to shift, get rid of that. And 37, so that's getting bigger. There. Now I'm going to see the left side and the right side. Okay. Y'all good here? Good? Jess? Did you get it? Okay, that looks good. Lisa? All right, we good on this, folks? Delete your cone of vision once you've got that. Kind of reminds me of Detective Smart, cone of silence. Okay, now, the thing we got to remember, what's on the picture plane? Because I got to start this thing true size somewhere. I've got to bring that height dimension in. What is true size? One line right here. Okay. So let's draw the true size line because you'll use orthographic projection. Now, we're only going to use it for that one place that crosses the picture plane, so this is considered pictorial projection. But we're going to use orthographic projection for that one line. So whenever you have your object cross the picture plane, you can now use this right side view. Okay? That's the only time you ever can use this, folks. So to draw that, I'm going to take that point, I'm going to project it to the ground line. I'm going to come from my right side view on height, bring that over till I intersect it. Then I'm going to trim that up. That is true height.
What did you say again about, that's the only time you use that one?
Whenever you're on the picture plane. Okay? You have to be on, some portion of this object has to be on the picture plane for me to project from this view.
This is on the 2D drawing, right?
Yes. So if you would, what we need is that height right there. And you use orthographic projection to find it. Take that point, bring it straight down, bring your height over. You already know it's chopped off on the ground. Delete your picture plane, or your construction lines. There's your true length line, folks. It's going to be the only true length line on this whole drawing. Are we all there?
No.
Okay. So project from here, straight down.
Top.
Okay. Did you bring this over? To get that segment? Okay, all
Like
right.
that, you didn't use the SP for that one at all?
No SP, don't need it. I'm orthographic projection. All right, now we need to define our vanishing points. So what we're going to do here, the vertical axis, this one, is not going to vanish. So whenever I go onto a vertical component of this object, it's going to be straight up and down. Hence that 90 degree on your polar setting. But the other two axes vanish. This axis vanishes this way, this one this way. So copy these two lines to your station point and put that corner right on your station point. Okay, so I'm going to do a copy command. I'm going to grab these two lines and put them right on the station point. Once you've done that, extend those to the picture plane. Now, if you got it and this doesn't extend out, you might have to make your picture plane bigger or something so that they physically intersect. I'm going to use the extend command and throw that one out. Oh, that doesn't hit. Neither does that one. I'm going to have to make mine bigger. I'm going to have to make all of them bigger, actually. Okay, so let's leave mine here for a second. Okay, so you're going to extend them out to the picture plane. Then following the example in the text, you then go vertically from the picture plane down to the horizon line. So I'll take that line, bring it straight down. That is my vanishing point left, vanishing point right. So go ahead and put points on those. You're going to be there and there. And I'm just type RE and hit enter. They're all the same type thing. You regenerated the screen.
RE.
RE stands for regenerate.
I
Redraw the screen.
I knew that.
What is it?
RE. Regenerate. Back in chapter 5, I believe, your text, the view. First time we saw the view stuff.
Why I didn't use it then? That's cool.
Are we, raise your hand, or yell if you need more time. Okay, now, we found those, so let's make sure we keep ourselves clean, get rid of those construction lines. Now, we call these vanishing point left, vanishing point right, but they're affiliated with the plane. Whenever I'm on a plane that is parallel to this line, I'm using that vanishing point. Whenever I'm on a plane that's parallel to this line, I'm using that vanishing point. Folks, when you do two-point perspectives, stay focused on one plane. Don't try and deal with two planes at once. Okay. So what I want to do is let's only draw this left side. You're seeing it as a line, but there's a square here, right? Or a rectangle
Yeah.
that you're seeing as a line. So let's draw that. We know that this is true size. That's that point, that's that line that I'm seeing as a point. Because right here, okay, I'm seeing it as a point. It's now true size down here. Like conversely, I'm seeing this edge as an edge right here. So that's going to be there, and what we're going to do is we're going to get it that side of it. Okay. So, I know the top and bottom. This plane vanishes where? It vanishes left. So I'm going to go from the top to my vanishing point left, and then back to the bottom. Okay, there's the plane, the top and bottom of it. So draw that.
From your left
So I
to.
went from the top to vanishing point left, back to the bottom. Everybody there? Now, what we know is that the top of this object, right here, it goes along that line. The bottom of it, which is sitting underneath, right, it's the bottom line here, it also is there, and it has to fall on this line. Where does it stop, though? Where's this back edge? You use your station point to find that. So I go from station point to the back edge. Where you got across a picture plane, bring that straight down. So if you want to watch me real quick, it's really, you're going to go from station point to that back corner that I'm looking for, right here. Where I cross the picture plane, I bring that straight down. Then I can trim this up. So it's right here. There's that rectangle.
I've messed up somewhere.
Yeah. You didn't do vanishing point left. No, it's not. Let me drive for a second. Let me get shut up. And you just kind of watch it. Let everybody see this, so. Oh, you're the station point. Putting him down about right here. Okay, so we're going to take our line, we got to do our line sheet. So I'm going to copy
Yeah, I think that somebody then go, I had the whole thing, then how did I do it?
Now we got the top and bottom. We're going to go from here, vanishing point left to the back. then, now to find out where this back edge is, you go from the station point to the back edge. Now you cross the picture plane. There's the plane right there. Good. Anybody need more time? All right. So clean yourself up once you've got it, because you're going to be doing a bunch of snapping over this stuff, and you do not want a bad snap. So get rid of those construction lines once you found something. All right, we found this back edge. Now, let's deal with this front edge right here. Which way does that plane vanish?
In the right.
Goes right. So here's my true length point. That's right there. So I'm going to go from top, vanishing point right, and back. So I'm going to do a line. Go from vanishing point right
Gotcha.
and back. How do we find the back edge? Use the station point. So once I've defined the top and bottom of the plane, I'm now going to draw a line from my station point to the back point in question, right here. Where I cross the picture plane, I'm going to bring that straight down. There's that plane. And let me trim up.